everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Oilers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here. Set
the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Mayfield now from the 50. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He sets to fire deep, and that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year, and the Browns have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in Week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
To throw again on second down. Mariota, one of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Mariota. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. On the ground, this is Johnson. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Right there, 54 Mike. Here we go, here we go.
They go with Chubb on second down. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On third down, Mayfield. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A run for Nick Chubb, and a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 14 carries, 56 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
11 yards there, first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. 2 excellent drives for them to start this game, both ending with touchdown passes.
Yeah, they're off and running, even though they finish things off through the air. Gotta like what you're seeing from them so far. Being able to maneuver offense, take care of the football, and then ring that bell at the end with, as you said, 2 touchdown passes.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Give them 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing, Mariota. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Mariota now on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Over the middle here to Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And Callaway taking it in left side. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Let's go, son.
Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the pistol, it's McCoy. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. Screen play. Johnson And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. They'll set up the screen to McCoy. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Andrew Luck with 2 first-half touchdown passes. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Mayfield. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. First down, Mayfield. Now that rush coming, and he's taken down. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing, Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the...
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Rashawn Gary drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here now, a look at LaShawn McCoy. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Mike. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
A final shot before break. Dobbs. That is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head to Washington to check out the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Seahawks in that ball game. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Andrew Luck throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it's been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the interception, Mayfield looking left side. That's caught by Landry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Mayfield over the middle to Beckham. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Seven yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, it's McCoy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
On the ground, it's Chubb. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield, and he's got the hook up to Landry. The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mayfield on 1st down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Jarrell Casey picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. To throw, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
He finds Beckham complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Check 55 to Mike. Blue down.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point up and through, and that'll increase their lead to 28. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Mariota on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. And now it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
On 3rd down, Mariota to the right side, complete to Taylor. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second down now, it's McCoy. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now the Browns coming out on the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've...
Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Come on, fellas.
And now out comes Houston. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Mariota out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Mariota to throw it. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Browns, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.